Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And in today's video, I wanted to touch upon a number of important topics for the community that I think will be interesting for us to have a conversation about. One is talking about the current rental market and trends that we're seeing there. I want to also discuss daily active users and how that correlates to the current rental market trends. I want to talk about reward card print rates, as well as bot behaviors and the goal of the ranked reward system. And then finally, and probably most importantly, bring a suggestion to the table on how we can bring balance to the game and the rank rewards moving forward that I think will benefit every human player in the game and the overall economy. So stay tuned for that, because I think that's going to be a very interesting conversation. So let's start by talking about the rental card market. And this is the current state of the rental card market here. And as we look at this, let me just do a refresh here to make sure we get the latest data. And if we filter on card rentals and we filter on Chaos Legion as an example, summoners, you can see here. So I had created a video probably about, I don't know, four or 5 weeks ago, talking about Chaos Legion summoners and the opportunity that Chaos Legion summoners brought to the table, especially with the starter and ghost cards going away for reward shares in the new rank reward system. And we're already starting to see movement here on the rental prices for summoners. If we look at the rental prices here for summoners, you can see here Kalia for a 1 BCX novice / bronze level summoner at 20 collection power. We're already seeing DEC rates here of $4 at the low end for 1 BCX. We're seeing it depending on how, well, the time of the day, basically. We're seeing it go up to above 20 DEC per day for rental prices. And if you go and look at the video that we did about 4 weeks ago talking about Chaos Legion summoners before the new rank reward system, well, you could rent a 1 BCX Kalia for 0.1 DEC a day all day long, every day, because there was just no demand to rent the summoner. We're already seeing this demand increase significantly. And even if we look here at Obsidian here on the gold foil version, you have a couple outliers here of 2 and 7 DEC, but the floor basically for gold foil Obsidian right now for a 1 BCX is 24.44 DEC a day, which is also significantly higher than it was previously. And we can look at Kalia as well. Kalia here, her floor is 14.74 for a gold foil 1 BCX of Kalia. And why is this relevant? Well, this is relevant because we're already seeing price movement in one of the, most important pieces of a team for Splinterlands to earn reward shares in the new rank reward system, and that's the summoner. And these are the cheapest summoners available for the most part. And we're seeing their prices for rentals already go up quite a bit. And here's the crazy thing. If we go to the daily active users here, prior to the new rank reward system, we were sitting around 348,000 users, daily active users on May 31st, which was the last day of the old reward system. And you can see here our daily active users, even over a week into the new rank rewards system being released, we're at 135,900 yesterday on June 8th. So we've lost over 200,000 daily active users since the new rank rewards system has come online. And the theory there is it's not the humans that we've lost, the human players. In fact, human players are probably playing more than ever before, probably on more accounts than ever before. We'll talk about that in just a second. So what is probably to account for these daily active users going down? Well, the theory is more than likely that these are bots that have been turned off as the new programs are adjusted and adapted for the new rank reward system. So when we look at the rental prices here for these summoners, these are rental prices that are moving north and increasing, with the daily active players being cut by more than 2/3. So what will happen, do you think, when these 200,000 bots that are missing in action right now come back into the game and get powered up? My guess is the price of summoners and rentals in general will increase fairly significantly. So again, be on the lookout for that. I'm going to post the link to the video that we talked about this kind of phenomenon or prediction in the video description, so you have access to that link from our YouTube channel should you wish to review that and summon the theory behind that process. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, and we just mentioned it briefly, is that if you're a human player in this game and you had alt accounts in this game previously, maybe at the silver or bronze level, more than likely those alt accounts were sitting idle and not doing anything. You or I were not motivated to power those up and play those accounts because, well, they get, let's say, 1 or 2 bronze chests at the end of the day, and just getting maybe 1 or 5 credits in that chest was not appealing. Well, with the new rank reward system, as we've talked about on a video on our channel and also many other YouTubers talking about on their channels in the community, right now, if you have a bronze account, whether you're renting or playing in bronze or silver, you're earning a lot of bronze chests for daily focus chests as well as season reward chests right now. That's pretty lucrative. A lot of that's dropping DEC and reward cards. So there is a lot of players coming back into the game, and the reason for that, not only coming back to the game but playing more than one account as well, because quite simply the rewards are great and it makes sense to spend the time and effort to do so. Now, what's also interesting, I would propose this as a theory again. I have no information on this on the inside of Splinterlands, but let's look at this. This is Keokiz's Splinter Stats site for reward cards, and we can see here, for example, that the old Chaos Legion rank reward cards are sitting at, for the rares, around 46.93%, legendaries at 49.82%, and the commons are now up to 57.97% printed. Now, before the new rank reward system was adjusted just, 8 days ago now, 8 or 9 days ago, these common cards were printed at about a 50% printing, right? Just under 50%. We did a video talking about that right before the new rank reward system was released. It's already increased 8% for commons, which is crazy. But before we talk about the print rate here, let's look at this. So the old Chaos Legion reward cards prior to the new rank reward system being released had gone on for about 10 months, had been out for about 10 months since September, or around September of 2021. And we'd only gotten to roughly 50% of the print rate just for the commons in 10 months. Now, if you're Splinterlands and you're looking at 10 months to do the first 50% and another 10 months to do the next 50%, that's a reward card print run of about 2 years, or roughly 20 months. So just shy of 2 years. And that's not necessarily great to have the same Venari Heatsmiths being given out for rewards 2 years later. That doesn't really appeal to a lot of players after a certain amount of time. So my theory here is that Splinterlands, the dev team, realized this and said, hey, we gotta accelerate this. We gotta get new reward cards in the mix, and we need to get through this print run of these old reward cards quickly. So rather than admit a mistake that say, hey, maybe we printed too many of these to be able to distribute to the player base, let's not admit defeat. Let's not admit a mistake. let's not burn them. Let's just run through them and give them out in increased quantities. And well, hey, guess what? The new rank reward system is doing just that, because at the bronze silver level, the chance of a reward card drop is 33%. And oh yeah, by the way, instead of getting 1 or 2 chests a day on your daily quest, now you're getting 10, 15 or more chests dropping those potential cards. So the acceleration of the drops for these reward cards has increased anywhere, well, probably anywhere between, I don't know, 8 to 10 times now, or possibly more if we sat there and really did the math, than it was just a week ago. And we're already seeing it in the print rates going up 8% in 8 days roughly. So we are going to tear through these remaining old Chaos Season reward cards. And look at this as well. The new reward cards commons already at 1.22% distributed just in 8 days. Not even, well, just a little over half a season, we're already above 1%. So this is going to go through these reward cards much quicker than the previous reward cards were achieved. And the print numbers look to be roughly the same at the 8 million commons. I haven't done the math, but if we look here at 95,785 at a 1.22% rate, it's roughly probably around 8 million common cards, similar to the previous print run. So same number of cards, just an acceleration of the print rate to the community. So what does this mean? Well, we've talked about it in previous videos as well, talking about the stimulation of the economy through more rewards printed from a reward card perspective, from a DEC perspective, and that basically is essentially inflation around the rewards and prizes of the game. But how does the market and the economy of the game react to that stimulus? Well, it's interesting because, again, the bots haven't come online in mass yet, so we don't really know what the rental economy is going to do necessarily, or the card economy is going to do once those 200,000 bots show back up at the workforce. But we kind of assume that things are going to pump at that point in time. But what I would say is one of the other goals of the new rank reward system wasn't simply just to chew through the outstanding reward cards and essentially give them away like a fire sale, but it was to reward either players or bots that held assets in the game. And the whole point was to reward people or bots that held assets, either renting or owning, and get the new reward cards and DEC to them in exchange. Well, what are we seeing? Is that working? Well, we heard on the town hall from Aggie and Matt patting themselves on the back, saying, yes, this is working great. We have, increased rewards and decreased or increased value, but decreased rewards, basically, is essentially what they were saying. Well, yes, you can do that if this is the curve that you're seeing on the daily active users. If you've increased the rewards by a significant factor, but you've also decreased the number of users receiving those rewards by 2/3 or 66% roughly, yeah, you might have deflationary assets being delivered in the near term. But as soon as those 200,000 bots come back online, well, it's inflationary all the way, baby. And yeah, it's printing. So what does that mean? Well, in the grand scheme of things, are players and bots that hold assets really holding more assets and really encouraged to climb higher and get rewarded for more holdings? And I would argue that the answer there is no. The first no is, one, that this is inflationary, it's not deflationary in the long term. The near term, yes, maybe because we've lost 2/3 of the users through the bots. The long term, it's inflationary. And the second point is, those that hold, assets that are diamond or champion level quality worth tens of thousands of dollars are not necessarily getting they're certainly getting more rewards than previously, absolutely no doubt about it. But are they getting commensurately more rewards such that everyone wants to play at the champion level and get champion chests. And the answer, if you ask a lot of diamond and champion players, is no, that's not the case. Actually, a lot of champion and diamond players are playing more time on their alts than their champion main accounts because, well, they earn more reward cards and more chests on the alt accounts now than they do on the champion or diamond level accounts. So I wouldn't say that that is exactly working as intended. And if you also watched our last video talking about the state of the rank reward system and the bots, well, let's have an update. Let's look at some of the bots that we looked at 2 days ago. And what we saw when we look at those bots, we're going to look at all three of them. BD Jenny, Tan 34, and Berlin Sky. And let's see what they've been up to since we looked at them running 2 days ago. Well, we know for sure that all three of those bots rented about 15,000 CP of a dedicated focus and were spamming battles. That was 2 days ago, and they haven't done anything since. And by the way, when they rented those cards, they were spending around anywhere between 70 to 80 DEC for that 24-hour period of rentals. And we know that when we look at previous examples of the old rank reward systems, when we looked at the rentals for those same bots, they were renting around 100 to 110 DEC rentals when they did that. So actually, they're actually paying less in rentals than they were before, and that's, well, probably because the rental market is down. But that being said, let's look at these bots. What have they done in the last 2 days since they rented those Life and Fire Splinters? Well, Tan 34 has done nothing. It's been shut down for the last 2 days, hasn't done any battles since then, and more than likely it's because they ran the ECR into the ground during that rental period of 24 hours and are waiting for it to recharge, and will probably rent again today or tomorrow and then start to go through the process all over again. So what are we seeing? Well, we're seeing the same exact behavior as before. And I'm going to look at BD Jenny as well to show you what that bot is doing. Same thing, hasn't played for 2 days, so that's idle as well. And let's look at the last one, was Berlin Sky from the last video. That bot, guess what? Same thing, hasn't done anything for 2 days after the rentals expired. So again, they rented cards for one Splinter for 70 to 80 DEC for that day, spammed ECR down, and got presumably a lot more season chests and daily chests than they would have gotten under the old rank rewards system, actually for less rent. And they're not renting every day, so they're not getting daily focus or season chests every day. And the other thing is, they don't need to hold rank at end of season. They get all the season chests now from the season points, regardless of what CP they hold. So there's no incentive for them to rent on the last day of the season. They can just rent every third day, earn their chests, and call it a day. And actually, they're going to spend right now less money doing that and probably get 10 times or more the rewards than they would have got just a week or two ago under the old rank reward system. So going back to the original goal of the new reward system, it was to encourage bots to own cards, to buy cards, or to rent more cards to basically pay the price of admission to get rewards. Well, I can tell you right now, based on the behavior that we're seeing in this particular bot farm, is that one, they're not owning or renting more cards than before. It's actually less, and they are certainly getting more rewards than before due to the reward inflation that we already talked about. So my point here is that what we're seeing initially is the system is not producing the desired ideal results here. It is producing results in that new players coming to the game can earn more, and existing players can spin up alt accounts and earn more as well. So from that perspective, everyone is earning more and everyone is happy in that regard. But again, that's because the rewards were inflated. Anytime you double or triple or 4x the amount of rewards given out in a game overnight, that's going to obviously have an effect on people's playing habits, and eventually the market will catch up to that. So again, I would argue right now the current rank reward system from a long-term perspective needs some tweaking, tuning, and adjusting for it to achieve the results that were originally intended. So let me talk about how I believe the balance of the game and the reward structure can be returned in the game and hopefully get things long term in a spot that's healthy and sustainable. So I wanted to talk about first kind of credit one of our Twitch viewers on stream with this idea, brought it up on our stream the other day. And if you're not joining us on Twitch, feel free to join us on Twitch, where we stream Tales from the Cryptmancer, usually in the evenings during US time here. And that individual was Kush, friend of the channel Kush, who you may be aware of. He's also been a large fan of the Chaos Legion packs in the past. But let me talk a little bit about the theory that Kush and I discussed on stream the other day. Right now, the bots can essentially exploit the system. And we're not talking about win trading here, we're just talking about the rental system. What that means is the bots right now know that they can rent a single splinter or neutral cards, rent it for a 24-hour period, and ramp up the amount of daily focus chests and season chests that they earn. What that means is their investment and their collection investment, whether it's renting or owning, and in the case of bots, it's renting, is an inch wide and not deep at all. It is focused for a 24-hour period on a specific splinter, on a specific collection power, 15,000 for silver 3. They're in and they're out, and they don't really provide any real true value to the game other than what they were doing before, as we've previously discussed. So really the solution here isn't to provide an exploit where you can target your focus for a 24-hour period on a single splinter, hit and run basically, and be done, and to come back 3 days later and do the same thing over and over again and just, basically extract tremendous amounts of rewards. But the solution here is to not be an inch wide and a mile deep, but to actually be a mile wide and maybe, 20 feet deep, right? So what do I mean by that? How does that relate to how do we bring balance to the game? Well, the solution is actually quite simple, but also quite, I would say, elegant, in the fact that right now, all that would need to happen to encourage a wider collection or a larger collection coverage for not only human players, but bots as well, to make sure that it's not a manipulation or an exploit or simple extraction, targeted hit and runs into the reward daily focus. But basically it comes down to this. If instead of having a daily focus, whether that's a splinter or an upcoming ability or any other thing that's added to the game, what if once you achieved your focus breakpoint here, like in this case, the focus points to next chest is 96,970. Once I achieve and earn that chest, what if my battle focus changed? What if, for example, our battle focus for the current chest was life, and I fielded life teams and neutrals, and I got that chest, and now all of a sudden my battle focus was randomly generated, and now it became death, and for the next chest, for this next 24-hour period. So basically, maybe I fielded a life team for a couple battles, won some battles with a life team, got the chest. Now once I achieve that chest, instead of going to the next chest and still spamming life, maybe the game randomly re-rolls it, and now I get death. And now I can play a couple battles, I can play it with death, I can play whatever I need to get wins in. And once I get my wins in with my death splinter, it re-rolls it again for the next chest to achieve during that 24-hour period. And now maybe it's Earth, or maybe it's Dragon. You get the point here, right? What does that encourage? Well, one, as a player, it encourages me to play different cards and different splinters and not just spam the same thing over and over and over again. Two, it encourages me to have for the level that I'm playing at, a broad collection, meaning I have a Beth Splinter team that can win. I have a life Splinter team that can win games at the level I'm playing at, and it doesn't allow me to just rent just the meta 3 meta life cards or 3 meta fire cards, whatever, Yodin or Kitty, whatever that happens to be, spam it and move on. What it makes me do is want to have an investment in assets across the spectrum of the game for the level I play at, which is what we were as players, human players, before trying to do, like build our decks, right? Be able to compete at the silver level, whether it be in rank rewards or tournaments, for example, and have the cards that you need to compete. Well, having your focus change after every chest is achieved and making it a battle focus within a day would encourage a wide collection that is varied and is, larger, right? It requires probably a larger investment to earn chests, but it also gives variety of play at the same time. And it also discourages bots for hitting and running on a single rental focus for 24 hours and coming back 3 days later and doing it all over again. Because now bots, if I'm a bot programmer, I can't plan for that. I can't game the system. I can't exploit it. As a bot, now I need to rent at silver level cards across the spectrum because I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know if I'm going to get a life quest or a water quest or a fire quest. I need to have more depth of cards. And now, all of a sudden, the bots now need to ante up and pay the piper to earn rewards, just like you or I would have to do in reality, right? If we weren't abusing the system like a lot of us are doing right now using alt accounts. So I know Dwayne Cunningham Infidel 1258 here on YouTube has also talked about, how he is somewhat concerned of the rank reward system and the daily focuses and the print rates, and I agree with him. And if you know Dwayne is a super fan of Splinterlands, the game, and how it can change people's lives. And if Dwayne is raising the red flag saying, hey, hold up here, we got to look at this because something's not right, something smells funny here, well, that tells you something. And Dwayne, he wants the long-term sustainability of this game to be the case. We don't want something that burns hot and quick and then, just dies out. So I wanted to present this solution because I think it provides an option that the Splinterlands dev team should look at for the long-term sustainability and viability of the game, to make sure we encourage the right behavior for both humans and bots to even the playing field to accomplish the goal that Matt set forth, which was to establish a level of investment and ownership or rentals in the game commensurate with the rewards being received. So there you have it, a suggestion. Thank you, Kush, for bringing it up. Thank you for discussing it on stream with us. And I present it to the community, and I present it to the Splinterlands dev team to consider. From a technical perspective, yes, I know right now the blockchain sends a request to change the daily focus basically every 24 hours. And maybe from a performance perspective, that would have to be looked at on how best to accommodate that on the blockchain effectively after every chest is earned. But I would say that the battles also run on the blockchain. So if they can run battles quickly, they can also run battle focus changes quickly as well. So technically speaking, I think it's definitely achievable and scalable and provides a good solution to some of the challenges around the daily focus, spamming, as well as the bot hit and run tactics that we're seeing. So there you have it. Thanks for sticking with me through all of this conversation. Hopefully this is a little thought-provoking. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback in the comments section below. And until next time, keep stacking those stats.
That's entertainment.